I'm with Fadi Kretem from Magen David Adom. Now, Fadi, what first of all is Magen David Adom?
Magen David Adom is the body that gives the emergency care in all Israel, actually.
So what do you do as part of working for Magen David Adom?
I'm an emergency medic and ambulance driver in Magen David Adom. I volunteer in Magen David Adom since 5 years as a part of the East Jerusalem team in Magen David Adom. The East Jerusalem team was established between 7 to 9 years ago. It was a very small team, and we worked really very hard in order to make it bigger and to give services and to let the services of Magen David Adom reach everywhere in the eastern side of the city in Jerusalem.
And what sort of area do you cover in Jerusalem?
The East Jerusalem team covers all the eastern area of Jerusalem, like East Jerusalem. We cover all the neighborhoods in East Jerusalem, but also we give response for West Jerusalem if we are close. We don't just care about East Jerusalem. We cover like East and West. When we volunteer in the ambulances, we give the services for East and West, like for Israelis and Arabs in Jerusalem, with no difference between the kind of services we provide. But usually the East Jerusalem team covers the east of Jerusalem area.
And what sort of events do you have to go out to?
We respond almost to every event that happens in the area, from car accidents to fainting, injuries, cardiac attacks. We respond for all kinds of incidents that happen. But the East Jerusalem team have a specialty, which is the Holy Saturday for Christians in Jerusalem. Because it comes on a Saturday, so the East Jerusalem team covers all the event from the morning till the evening, the Holy Saturday, and we provide we go to the Old City, about 60 medics, and cover all the ceremony from the beginning, the early hours of morning until the end.
As a Palestinian Christian, it must be nice just to be there, to sort of celebrate, but also to be there to help and provide for people who are struggling.
Actually, I just go every year and celebrate it, even before joining Magen David Adom. But now with Magen David Adom, I celebrate it and work together.
Do you end up having to go into riots when there's trouble and situations on the street?
Yes, usually we cover also riots. We go into riots. But the different thing here maybe than other countries in the world, that when we have riots or any this kind of disputes, we just wait for the police to come and then we'll enter with the police. We never enter alone to a riot or a dispute, in order just to avoid, our rules is your safety comes first. So we look first for our safety in order to give the response for others. So we usually wait for the police to come and then we enter together.
What sort of equipment do you have on your ambulance?
The ambulance have a lot of equipment. It have it have the oxygen, it have semi-automatic defibrillator, it have the IV injections, the normal bleeding control stuff. It have a lot of things, actually. I'm talking about a normal ambulance, not about the intensive care ambulance. When you talk about the intensive care mobile unit, you're talking about more medicines, more updated equipment. Let's say you'll have a heart monitor, ECG monitor, defibrillator, all kinds of medicines in it, and also with a paramedic that he's able to use all these equipments.
Now, they tend to drive a little bit crazy here in Israel. Do they actually respect the ambulances when you're trying to get through?
Actually, the country suffers from traffic jams everywhere. When you go out in the country, you will suffer from traffic jams everywhere. People try always to help making way for the ambulance. They try always to help, but in some places, when you reach a two-sides road full of traffic, there is no way for them to go, so it will be kind of problematic for the ambulance driver. But usually, yes, people try to help in letting the ambulance pass.
Do the ambulance drivers do they sometimes get to a scene that's quite a horrific scene?
That's part of the job, yes.
Is there counselling for someone who's been to see something that's really bad and they get back home and it affects them, like post-traumatic stress disorder? Can they get counselling from that?
Yes, the administration of Magen David Adom don't leave anyone behind. So if anyone faces any kind of stressful issue in his shift, so they take good care about him after he finishes, and they just follow up on his situation to make sure that he just passed it and everything's okay.
Is the Magen David Adom Muslims, Christians and Jews working together?
Yes. Magen David Adom, as I told you, the East Jerusalem team, when we started, we were about 30. Now we are about 160. The 160, we have a lot of Muslims, Christians, and a lot of Jews. Okay, but when you enter this building, you don't have the feeling of any kind of discrimination. Never. Like in 5 years, I didn't feel that someone told me anything about being an Arab. Entering this building means you are entering a different world.
This must be really, really vital work that you're doing, is it?
It's an essential work to do, you know, helping the community around, helping people when they need you. For me, it's very essential. When I started here, I didn't know how much exciting and how much appreciated this work will be. But after I started doing it, you can feel how much the people appreciate you around, how much exciting this work. And it's like, you know, it's like a disease, you know. When you start doing it, you cannot just leave it easily. It won't leave you. The ambulances will keep going in your blood, especially, you know, with the environment that we have here. The country is divided, too many religions, Arabs and Israelis. So just giving care for everyone without looking for religious ethnicity or whatever, it gives you the feeling that you are doing something good in the middle of all what's happening. You know?
Do you also work with the Red Crescent, and do you also work with perhaps Palestinians that are coming across in ambulances from Bethlehem or from the Palestinian Authority into Israel? Do you work together with that?
Usually, if there is any case that need transfer from the West Bank to Israel, the Red Crescent bring this patient from the West Bank to the checkpoint. And of course, we work together in receiving the patient from the Red Crescent vehicle to our ambulance and to transfer him. There are some places like in East Jerusalem, it's very hard for Magen David Adom to enter due to a checkpoint, for example. So we direct the Red Crescent in order to pass this checkpoint and transfer the patient. So I think there's a lot of work between the Red Crescent and Magen David Adom, yes.
Do you feel like you're making a difference here in the land?
Yes, of course. Like saving life is a difference. Helping person in need makes a difference. So the ambulance itself, working in it makes a difference, yes.
So if you've been to something where you've saved a life, do you sometimes get people coming back to you to say, look, you know, last year you saved my life and I just want to come and say thank you?
Actually, it happened to me more than one time. Like, we saved people, they were in cardiac arrest, and we did all the CPR, the cardiopulmonary resuscitation for them. And after like 1 month or 1.5 months, people came back to the medical center where they were. There was and asked to see us specifically, and we went there and saw them. And actually, we were very happy. They were very happy. Yes, it's you know, it's a touching moment for us.
Do you feel this is a calling from God that you're doing this work?
At the beginning, actually, I didn't realize how much big the thing we are doing. But yes, I think it's a calling from God.
What's your prayer for the future for Magen David Adom, working together with Muslims, Christians and Jews?
My prayer is not for Magen David Adom. Magen David Adom will continue. My prayer is for this country to have peace in it, to live all together, and just to continue living as normal human beings in this country.
Okay, Fadi, thank you very much.
You're welcome.